Chancellor also announced some measures designed to help businesses today. Danny Hewson's in Sheffield to see what they make of it down there. Danny!
Yes, thank you, Phil. Well, for Yorkshire, really, the need for the budget to help businesses like Gripple here in Sheffield create jobs came into sharp focus, with the news that unemployment rose between November and January of last year, bucking the national trend. Figures for the 3-month period show there were 241,000 people without a job. That's 1,000 more than the previous quarter. Now, the regional unemployment rate is now 8.7%, going from third to the second highest in the country. George Osborne did announce some help today. We'll discuss that in just a minute. But one thing many small businesses were hoping for was a look at business rates, and that was noticeably absent.
Renee has literally tasted success. Her cupcake business launched a year ago and has developed quite a fan base. Expansion is definitely on her mind, and the nearby city centre of Leeds is an obvious choice. But that's where her business fairy tale comes to an abrupt halt.
We are stunted by the rates and the rent in the city centre. It's, like I say, it's just not achievable the way things are. So something's got to give, otherwise I guess we'll just be staying put.
Current rates were calculated on property values taken in 2008 before the recession hit. If the Chancellor had brought forward a recalculation, it's thought over 50% of retailers in the north would have benefited. On the flip side, London would have been a big loser. But it would have been a blow to our councils, who are already walking a tight wire.
My worry is everyone's saying the business rate system needs a review. Don't have a problem with that. But if what they mean by that, it means less business rates being paid, that means less income to the council, and that's more cuts on top of what we've already got.
And rates did feature in the autumn statement, though the £1,000 discount has been slow to filter through in some places, like here in the picturesque town of Helmsley. It is in the pipeline. The hope is today's measures will take effect more quickly.
So any announcement is obviously welcome, but it needs to then filter through to the front line very quickly, and that's not happened so far.
The question now is, will what George Osborne's cooked up today be enough to reverse the dip in the region's unemployment figures?
Well, I'm here at Gripple in Sheffield to find out whether those measures can help. And Gordon McRae, well, Gripple certainly has found quite a lot to smile about in today's budget.
Yeah, I think the thing that really impressed us was the economic growth number of in excess of 2.4%. What that means is consumer confidence is back, and that means that the retailers and industrialists will actually put new buildings up. If they put new buildings up, we hope they're going to use Gripple.
And what, of course, everybody wants to know is, can that help create jobs?
Yes, it will. You know, we've got ambitious plans to actually expand this business. We're looking to increase our sales by over 15% per annum. The underlying economics that the government has been talking about today will lead us to actually create new jobs.
And I know that that is being talked about at a number of businesses. You represent a number of them. Also a lot of talk about energy, help for those who particularly use a lot of energy.
Yeah, and this is really welcome news in the budget, and it's something the CBI particularly pushed for. And it's very important for supporting manufacturers in our region, and also particularly for our energy-intensive users. I visited a couple on the Humber today, and they were very welcome and very supportive of this news, so very positive. I think also is important the move around capital allowances, which could be a real game changer for your medium-sized business to invest more and create jobs. So no, some welcome news.
OK, now you lobbied for quite a number of things before the budget. Anything that the Chancellor didn't do today that he might have done and might have helped create jobs?
Well, I think broadly it was a very positive budget for business. I think a couple of areas would have been some further action around air passenger duty, which would feed into the UK's competitiveness more globally. And then I think whilst the export finance was very, very welcome, I think the government needs to make sure it's backed up by making companies aware that this support is around there so it can be fully utilised.
Okay, well, the Chancellor did say it was a budget for makers, for exporters, for doers and for savers. Certainly on the shop floor today, apart from job creation, the only things that were being talked about was the penny that's come off beer and also the freeze on fuel duty.